G'day everybody and welcome to another YouTube video. Now as you can see we are staring at the new clone turbo tank brought out by Hasbro this year in 2009. It was launched at I think the New York Comic Con, but I could be wrong. But anyway, as you can see straight away it doesn't fit in the picture too well because it is big, and I mean big, if not huge. We'll start off here by having a quick look on the outside. We have 5 big wheels on either side of the vehicle. Spinning that around there, giving you a close look. A little bit disappointing, the wheels, in the sense that they aren't independently suspended, so whilst they all individually roll, they do not really give you too much leeway and clearance. So it's a case of, I suppose I could show you rolling over my finger, the whole vehicle picks up, which is a little bit disappointing, but I suppose, especially considering the price, but I suppose Hasbro, being Hasbro, doesn't want to spend too much money and make the good stuff. But we'll have a quick look at some of the outside features, and then I'll pause the video to give you a really good look at the in-depth inside of the features. So I'm going to pick up the camera now and take you down the vehicle. We'll start off here at the front of the vehicle, the back of the vehicle. I always get confused with these ones. We have a rotating turret, which, as you can see on the top, we have a launching firing missile. Also then we have some sound buttons, and depending on what you push,
Fire at will. You heard the general. Get ready to turn those clankers into scrap metal.
have an engine sounding effect there. Some missiles being fired and hitting their target. And then you can have some lasers or the blasters being fired. And then we have an off switch, so you can just turn it on and off. I'll show you a feature at the front now with the actual engine turning on. Is we do have actual operating lights, and you can see them light up there, and depending on
All units, fire at will.
they do stay on during the different sounds with the engine moving. And we also have an alarm there, so the lights do move on and off for that one. We then have a sort of lookout position for a trooper that can be placed in there, and that rotates up and down as well as rotating around. And then we also have another turret gun on the top, which can be fired just by pushing the missile button on the top. But all in all, that's pretty much the outside of the vehicle. Oh, I forgot one thing, and we have the missile launchers here. These missile launchers, you can rotate backwards to fire that way, or you can spin it around to fire forwards. You have the 3 buttons there. You just push those buttons and you can fire those missiles, and the springs in there are quite strong. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video and then show you the inner workings of our turbo tank. So just hang in there a second and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, welcome back, and here we are now looking at our turbo tank with all of our sort of hidden features well and truly exposed. So we'll start at this end, the rear end of the vehicle, and we'll work our way to the front. So at the back here you can see you can drop down the cabin, and you have a position where you can place 3 clone troopers quite well. And this one here actually sits on the turret gun, and you can see him rotating around. Then moving down to here, we have a compartment in which you can store some troopers. I'll close the back door there so you can see one trooper standing on the door. There are foot pegs on the doors that allow the troopers to stand quite nicely and pop out. Then moving into the main cabin of our vehicle, you can see there's quite a lot of room for a lot of figures. There is different positions. We have the turret gun, you can just see him there rotating round. Then we have some on actual sort of, I suppose, control panel equipment, and there's some sections there either side. And then we have our front of the vehicle, in which you can house up to 4 clones. We have 2 sitting and 2 standing. So I'll spin it around to show you the other side, just to show you what I mean. So there's our sitting and standing clones. Some more here with foot pegs. These doors here that fold down, they are quite sturdy. As you can see, they hold their own weight, not like the AT-AT, which flops straight down. They also have foot pegs, which allows you to pose some clones. So, and then we have our hidden compartment again, and moving back around to the front. But that's not all with our turbo tank, so if you do bear with me again, I'm going to pause the video and show you some more features. Okay, back again. Now, as you can see before, I mentioned that this was the back of the vehicle and it housed some clones. But another exciting feature of the actual vehicle is I can see these doorways that fold down. Well, they continue to fold down and allow you to create a standing tower for your clones. So if you just bear with me. We've created a sort of breakaway substation or turret or tower in which the clones can launch an attack from or leave and defend a base from. So that's quite an interesting feature, and again it just locks back into position. But probably the most exciting feature, and probably that Hasbro would argue would add to the price tag of the vehicle, is we have a hidden compartment, and that compartment just drops down the front there, and in that hidden compartment we have a BARC speeder. Now this speeder comes with the vehicle, and by using a button at the top here, this big button here, you can spring launch the vehicle out of the turbo tank. So let's give that a go. I'll try and line up the camera and see if we can launch it straight into it. There you go. So I'll pick up the speeder now and we can have a bit of a closer look at him. So there it is there. A nice speeder. It's very similar to the ones that you've seen in probably the clone packs before. The only difference being is that we have some wheels underneath, which allows our speeder to roll and glide quite nicely on smooth surfaces, which is a quite nice feature if you're into setting up your speeder. It does come with a figure, as I said. I haven't got the figure on me actually because I've set up all the other figures, but hopefully one day I'll set up another vehicle and put him on so everybody can see. So all in all, hope you've enjoyed that bit of a quick glimpse over our turbo tank, and hopefully it's maybe inspired you to hang in there and wait for the price to drop and then go out there and get one for yourself. So thanks for watching, keep subscribing, and a bit of a quick sneak peek if you haven't already seen it, but I'll be doing a review of a Hellfire droid, so hang around for that one as well. So cheers!